Thank you so much, Steph. And our top story this morning, it is the first day of school after the holidays, but today students will be logging online instead of heading back to class as in-person learning goes to pause to curb the spread of COVID-19. So how are students feeling about this switch? Let's get right to the source. To discuss that and more, I'm joined by two grade 12s, both with a TDSB. We've got Ethan Schaap and Kayleigh Martin. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Mel.
Good morning.
All right, so grade 12, this is a difficult year regardless, but a really interesting year for both of you. So I want to start with you first, Kayleigh. So obviously you've had quadmesters, right? So you've had the combination of in-class and online. How's it been going?
For me personally, it hasn't been too bad, honestly. Dealing with some classes in class and some classes online, I've been able to divide my workload and actually be able to do a lot of homework at home. And since this is a very important year, I've been actually able to take on a lot of my homework more than I have in the other years and really excel. And my grades have shown as a result of that.
Good for you. I know, and it's very individual, right? Like some are very independent learners like yourself, Kayleigh. For others, they're having a bit more difficulties. So Ethan, how about you? How's the year been going?
I think it's been tough for a lot of people, to be honest. For a lot of students, it's been a lot of nonstop work. And I think there are benefits to the quadmester system, but a lot of people are still struggling. I know for teens like myself, I have anxiety. A lot of kids I know are facing bouts of depression and, pre-existing issues. And it's not built for kids like that. And they're struggling the most, I think, out of anyone.
I'm glad you brought that up because mental health is so significant this year at any level. For you, do you have the support that you need? Are there supports within the school system for you if you need to talk to someone?
I think, mental health support in the TDSB was already minimal at best. There really isn't a lot in that way, except for maybe guidance counselors that students can go to. But being online, there's been really no structure for mental health for students whatsoever. The only real forum we saw about that was last year in March with, the no grade drop policy that was implemented over quarantine, which helped a lot of students who were struggling with the nature of quarantine. But now it's just nonstop work.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kayleigh, for you, so now that everyone is home, how do you anticipate it's going to go? And you're not going back until the 25th, so that's significant, so much later than your elementary counterparts. How do you feel about it all?
Again, me personally, it doesn't bother me too much, but a lot of people that I've talked to, a lot of my friends at school, they are struggling with the fast-paced way that things are being taught. Sometimes material is actually being skipped over in some classes because they have compressed a full year course into 2 months, 3 months in the quadmester system. So a lot of kids are being given 2-3 days to finish assignments that would have taken them weeks or possibly a month, 2 months. So a lot of people are having difficulties with it. And since I haven't been fully virtual, I'm not sure really what to expect. I'm excited to see how my teachers are going to roll out the curriculum and the things that we were doing before the break in class and how we're going to deal with it now. So, I guess I'm excited, but hopefully it's not too hard.
Yeah, you sound optimistic, which is always a good thing going into a situation like this where not everyone knows what it's going to be like. Ethan, as a grade 12 student, your final year, do you feel like you're prepared?
I think it depends. I feel like there has been, I don't want people to take what we're saying here as negative towards teachers, for example. Like teachers have been working nonstop. But we're worried about the future, I think, more existentially as students. A lot of us feel very worried that there's not going to be much ahead for us in the way of career opportunities, what university looks like. So I think we do feel prepared. We're working really hard with, what's been given to us. But do we feel ready? I'd say no.
Yeah, so for any students who are watching, they're getting up right now, they're getting ready to log on. For each of you, so I'll start with you, Kayleigh, for last pieces of advice for anyone who might be struggling right now, what would you say? Because obviously you're on the other end here where you're saying things are going well for you. Any pieces of advice that you'd like to impart to anyone?
Really just like that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a really, really turbulent time. It has been over the past year. and terrible things have happened, you know, in the world, maybe in people's personal lives. And it's really hard not having that routine of getting up, getting dressed, going out. You're basically shuffling from your room to the bathroom to the kitchen, back to your room to log on. Most people might not change for the day. So it's really hard to get out of that home mindset. But there really is, again, a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to get better. You're going to be able to socialize eventually. And your university applications, although they were very, very hard this year to get the adequate information for some schools, your university applications are going to go well, and just keep pushing.
Yeah, I love seeing the smiles on both of your faces. I think you're both extraordinary. So good luck with this final year. Let's stay in touch, okay? We'll check in and see how you're doing with virtual learning over the next few weeks, okay?
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate your time. That's some really great insight, Dina, hearing from both of these young men.
Yes, and some really great hair. We were talking about
Yes.
hair earlier, Mel. Got it covered all over the place there. Coming up next, we heard so much about COVID. There were a lot of amazing science headlines we might have missed. Wait till you hear what's coming up next. The glowing platypus, you don't say. And whatever that is, we'll get into it